Someone said that when you are alive and well, you have 99 problems. But when you have a health problem, you have just one problem. And that's your health. So we've got to look out for that. I like to look at health as eight tentacles. And those eight tentacles would include physical health. That's your physical state, your sleep, your nutrition, your exercise, ability to move, ability to recover. I won't go into each one because everyone's covered it already. The second would be mental health. Third would be emotional health. Fourth would be spiritual health. And then you'd have family and community health. What's the state of your relationships? How are the people who are closest to you interacting with you? That does have an effect on you. Then we have environmental health. That is, are you living in a hygienic area? Or are you living in an area that's got germs all around? What if you're in a war-torn area? So the environment, or just surrounded by toxic people. So the environment, and I think Kevin made this point best. A toxic person, nothing to do with Kevin, but it affected his health. And then you have financial health. That's just a reality we all have to face in the world we live in. And the eighth tentacle is genetic and epigenetic health. No matter what you do, you might just inherit something through genetics or even epigenetics. Drake today sent me a forward, which I'd already seen, but it just came as such a strong reminder that sometimes people are traumatized and have things that they react to without knowing why. And it's probably just been passed on from their parents' trauma or something else that someone in their ancestry has gone through. And you may not have the memory of what caused it, but you still have the reactions to it. There was this experiment done where rats were put in a cage and a certain um, music was played. And just after the music was played, the floor would be electrified and they would all get shocks. So this was done for a little while. And then the electric shock stopped, but the music would be played on and off. And every time the music was played, the rats would still react as if they're going through those electric shocks. And the first generation of rats died out. The second one continued to have that trauma every time music was played, even though none of them had experienced the shocks themselves. And apparently this carried on for 3 generations before it could be handled. So epigenetics and genetics also plays a role. It's important for all of us to develop the right habits. You can monitor your health and stay in charge essentially with good habits. And otherwise, there's 2 other ways of looking at it. One is reactively looking at your health, as in someone says, don't eat sugar, and you can't help yourself. And one day the doctor looks at your test results and says, okay, now you're in trouble. And that's the day you get traumatized and you react and you say, okay, no more sugar. Or you can do what very few people do, but much more effective, is be proactive. Before something happens, think 5 steps ahead and get ahead of the problem before it can come. Change your habits, change your lifestyle, change your thoughts, your words, your actions, and point things in a healthy manner. Healthy financially, healthy environmentally, and all the 8 tentacles that I spoke about. Thank you.